Hello everyone, Bethelite here. I want to talk about a few ideas that I have with regards to activism in the XJW community and the financial aspect of it. Now, all of us can have an opinion on this. I want everyone to feel like it's okay to not agree with Marcus. As former Jehovah's Witnesses, we have to learn it's okay to have my own opinion. It's okay if the person next to me is saying something that I don't agree with. It's not the end of the world. This is not just in the XJW community that former Jehovah's Witnesses or cult members can embrace this. It's in your employment. It's with your friends and your social life to a certain extent. Your maybe romantic or marriage life, politics. It's okay to not agree on everything. It's all right. So I want everyone to feel comfortable disagreeing with Marcus. Comment down below in the comments section and disagree. And I'm not going to get upset. We may have a little back and forth discussion and share our ideas. And that's okay to have your own idea. You're not going to get disfellowship for having your own idea. It's okay to have your and to share your idea, and that idea should not be criticized by people that don't agree. It's okay to not agree. We don't have to make everyone agree. So let's talk about it. When you get into, have some of this Gatorade here. Excuse me. When you get into activism, all of us can be activists. I can go out right now if I wanted to and do a Kingdom Hall crash or a cart crash or any number of different forms of activism. Make a video and none of it costs money. However, we have very intelligent people in the XJW community, and sometimes people come up with ideas. And these ideas, in order to accomplish them, we might look at the financial aspect. For one reason is that it might actually cost money to do whatever that idea is, and two, it may take a lot of time and effort to accomplish it. Thus, the individual with the idea is thinking, I think I need to be compensated financially for the time, investment, and whatever this idea is that I have. Let's go for an example. Let's say Marcus does YouTube videos, but Marcus came up with the idea that if we got a bunch of people together on Google Hangouts and we had a session where everyone could share what's on their heart about the cult, waking up, what have you. Again, it's just example. And after they share, kind of like an AA meeting, after they share, everyone says, thank you for that. Share, no criticism, no anything. And then I get to thinking, now for me to do that, that may take quite a bit of time for everyone to be able to share and for me to moderate it and to organize it every week to make sure it's being done. You know what I mean? And then I might start thinking, man, I may not be able to afford to do that. I may need people to send me money, or I may want people to send me money. Now, here's the problem with that. The idea is great that Marcus, of course, I'm talking about myself as an example. The idea is great that I have about getting a big internet forum where we can all see each other and everyone really having a therapy session together. And it's true, it could take up quite a bit of time. Now, the problem with Marcus asking for money is Marcus isn't a therapist, not a professional. I got a good idea, but professionally, I don't know what I'm doing. Marcus has never, I don't have extensive background in organizing therapy sessions. How would I do it? Once, people start saying, well, Marcus wants to get this internet therapy session group together, and people just start hopping in and joining, how many people can I have in a week? You know what I mean? Are people going to get left out? Do I need to have other people? See, and then if people had sent in money, so Marcus is receiving money from, let's say, 30 people. Oh, I can only have 15 on the session, and I didn't realize that, so quite a few people are kind of left out of the session. Oh man, how do I organize it so that everybody's schedule? I didn't think about it. They already sent me money. So I guess that's the only problem with the financial aspect of activism is, am I professional? If I'm not professional, do I at least know what I'm doing? If I don't know what I'm doing, can I get someone who is professional, right? So, for example, this is, again, Marcus's opinion. It's okay for XJWs to not all agree on everything. Let's get used to that, because that's the real world. We'd be arguing with everybody. We'd be fighting with everybody if we're trying to make everybody agree on everything. In every aspect of life, we wouldn't have any friends if we're barking at everybody that is doing something we don't agree with necessarily. So it's okay to disagree. Now, my concept or my idea is that if I want to organize something that involves a large number of former Jehovah's Witnesses from various different states across America, maybe even outside the country, is it possible for me to hire professionals on my team, in the sense that everyone involved in this idea I have of therapy sessions online doesn't have to be an ex-Jehovah's Witness, right? They can be someone who professionally organizes internet Google sessions and can show me all the programs and can download all the correct programs, and whatever money goes to the professional who is setting it all up to make sure it's going to work. So if I were to try to just do it all myself, whatever my idea is, and just say, well, let me get a bunch of my XJW buddies. And it's great to have these ideas, and it's great to go about it, and heart is in the right place and everything. But if Marcus doesn't know what he's doing, My buddy doesn't know what he's doing necessarily. We got good intentions. The problem, I guess, once someone gives you money, it then kind of becomes a business transaction. It's no longer just, hey, we're just doing what we can to get the word out about Watchtower. It then becomes business, right? Once money is exchanged, oftentimes expectation changes. It's not just we're just getting together and we're just doing this how we want to, when we want. Once money changes hands, whether it be however it changes hands outside of just a donation, you know what I mean? If it's just, even if it's just a donation, sometimes expectation changes. It then becomes, okay, now we're kind of expecting a professional transaction. Here's money. I accept money. Here's said good. You accept said good. If that doesn't happen, then we can have people who are not happy. And it's not good because people are already coming from an abusive, you could say, religious abuse. A religiously abusive organization where everything they were told was a lie. I mean, Watchtower, virtually everything that they teach that's unique to anyone else is wrong. So you got people who everything they were taught was a lie. And it's a little bit maybe more sensitive to them if someone says, hey, we're going to do XYZ and it's going to cost XYZ amount. They hand it in because, hey, Watchtower did a number on a lot of us, and we want to see people made aware of it. So, hey, I'm sending my money in. And then if something goes wrong even with that, you can have a lot of hurt feelings and people upset. And then you have the people who are, let's say you have Marcus, me, who tried to get all this together, and I'm like, I'm trying to help people. I'm doing what I can. I'm not a professional. You know what I mean? Then I have hurt feelings because I feel like I'm working hard, and I may be working hard, but I don't have any professionals in my team. So that's my personal view, which is okay for us to have. My personal view is that if I were to decide to take on a form of activism or a form of action that's going to cost people money, then if I'm an amateur, I'm not going to do it myself. I'm going to go hire somebody who's a professional. Right? Now, this is my general view. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. You got to understand, we're all in different states. I don't even know all of what is going on with every individual person. So most likely, I'm not talking about you in particular. If it's a particular person thinking about doing something that's going to cost money, I probably don't even know about it. I'm not talking about you in particular. This is my general view. If I'm going to take on a business action and I'm just going to have everyone in my team all be amateurs and no one's done any of this stuff before, even outside the XJW committee, once you start asking for money and the money in the orders start coming in or whatever, and nobody's done this before, you know what I mean? Or we don't have a lot of success doing this, or there's all these problems, there's going to be issues. I don't care if I'm selling food and I've never done it before, and I start getting all these orders in, and the money comes in, and I can't fill these orders. I've got a lot of angry people. You know what I mean? So my idea is that you have people in the XJW community who do work, you know, and make a living doing certain things. There's people in the technology field. So if I work in the technology field, or I have extensive background in the technology field to where if I were to try to get a job, I could fill out an application and make a resume based off of my skills. Then, based off of my skills, I may decide to, hey, I'm going to help everyone with, I don't know, making really good videos or something to that effect. And I may charge a fee. Why am I charging a fee? I could charge a fee anywhere. I'm a professional. Look at my credentials. It's okay to charge a fee because once you get the money, you're going to deliver, right? They're going to get what they pay for. It's okay to give money when you're getting what you paid for. But just my view is that if I were to start a business, build my clientele, that clientele pays for a service and I don't deliver the service, I'm not going to be able to tell them, hey, I'm not a professional. You know what I mean? Like, well, so what? I'm not a professional, yeah. So you just did, you know, well, we'll get it to you next year or something. I mean, and I may have good intentions, very good intentions, and a good idea. The idea itself may be great. It is just the implementing of that idea. Because I've heard, and I like to be careful with I've heard this and I've heard that, because people want to get into individual people's situations and their business, and that's their business. You know what I mean? But I've heard of people having projects, and I'll talk to some of my friends, and they'll say, oh, we have someone asking for money. And the whole idea, normally when I listen to people, the whole problem that they have is they've never done this before. We don't know that if we send them money, we will get back what we were expecting. We don't know if this will be successful because they haven't done it before. So, for me, I think that if I were, me personally, if I were to decide, hey, I'm going to make a movie and I'm going to start collecting funds for said movie, and it's okay to do that, I would have producers. Not just somebody that's just, everybody doesn't have to be XJW. It's my idea. I have the idea, right? So I can employ people who have produced films before. There's a movie out that I'm hearing. It's in Europe or something. I don't know the name of it. I have to look it up. But I heard that there's a movie about a person who was shunned, and that movie was great. And I'm probably willing to go out on a limb and say that they had professionals helping out on that film. It wasn't all volunteers. There probably were professionals, because I'm sure that film cost money. So we can all do activism. Doesn't cost anything. That's one great thing about activism. But then we may want to do something big. Nothing wrong with doing anything big. But we don't have to form a team of only amateurs in trying to accomplish it. We can hire somebody that's a planner, or we can look for somebody that's done it a lot to the point where they could work as a planner, and hire that person, because again, a lot can be done. The XJW community can get together. A lot can be done. There's a lot of great ideas out there. Let's just hire some professional people and then get the money together and go forward with that project with a professional team. You got your idea, and then you got your professional team there. And I think that there will be a lot less hesitation in even collecting the money. Once people see, hey, Marcus says he's going to make a movie. He's got Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean? They're going to not hesitate to send money. He's a professional. That movie's actually going to come out then. You know what I mean? I think they will have a lot less hesitation for people to send money. And comment down below. Let me know what you think. And it's okay to disagree. I'm not going to get... Hey, you may say, hey, no, I think people that never done something before should charge money to do it. And maybe that way they go from amateur to professional and just doing it. That's your view. That's okay to have that view. It's okay to think differently from other people. So we can discuss this. 937-789-4029. If I want to start a business, I can just get a bunch of my buddies, or I can, especially if none of us has done it before, or none of us are professional, hire a professional to do it. I've heard of people going to something similar to an AA meeting, and it wasn't a JW AA meeting, but it was a professional meeting for people to gather and discuss things and traumas. And the ex-JW stood up, said, I'm a former JW and this is what's happened to me. And afterwards, everyone congratulates them for sharing. And it turns out well. Because even though the person doesn't have experience with your specific situation, they're a professional. They work in that field. They've done it before. Someone doesn't have to be an XJW to work for the XJW community and getting things done professionally. And that would be a scary thing for Watchtower. That would be a very scary thing for Watchtower. If someone were a producer and they had all these people in the community with all these experiences, they can make a good movie. And someone apparently already did. And then t-shirts and things like that. I'm not a professional, you know what I mean? I'm not a professional in that area at all. And merchandise and things. That's great. That's great. I think that's great. I remember driving by a store, and that store designed t-shirts and sold them. And that store had been around for a long time. So, this is me personally, what I would do. If I wanted to get a bunch of t-shirts together, I would go to that store where they do it professionally and they do it for a living and say, hey, I need this amount of t-shirts. This is design that I want. Can you do it? They would say, yay or nay. Can I have it by this time? Yay or nay. And that way, even if it's not perfectly, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but at least that way, from my understanding, I don't see a problem with that. That's what they do. So that way, everybody gets whatever they want, Heck, there's people that design t-shirts probably in virtually every city. I can probably go right now, get on the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I want a XJW t-shirt. What's that? Don't worry about it. This is the design. I want to say this on here, and I want to say that, and I want this design. Can you do it? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. So, I mean, we can all have, all these things that we want. I've seen some awesome looking hoodies and things like that. So whoever's making them, that's great artwork. I mean, that's I want one. You know what I mean? That looks awesome. Just for me personally, before I took on a large project involving multiple states in America, or maybe even outside of America, I've heard people from outside America talk about organizing and things of that nature, and that's a heck of an undertaking. If Marcus were to try to organize something in Europe, I don't even live in Europe. I don't know none of the people that, I may have talked to them on the phone, but, I'm going to try to organize something. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of trying to, hire some people, do some things to make sure things work. Now, locally, I'll just say this. On a local level, when we're not talking about we're going to get 5 states involved, we're going to get every state in America involved. Locally, you may have a circle of people that know each other and they trust each other. And hey, I know Marcus. I talk to him every day personally. We hang out. If I give him money to go and get something and he screws up, he just give it back to me, and I'm not going to be mad at him because we're all friends. You know what I mean? Locally, I think, you can do all kinds of things and try all kinds of things, amongst your friends. But then when it becomes big with people that don't necessarily know each other, my question, which I'd love to have someone answer down below, is once it becomes that big, why not just hire somebody? They don't have to be an XJW to make something, or to plan something, or to design something, or to organize something. Or if we got a bunch of people coming from all over to one state and we need hotels for everyone, there could be people that, get on the phone with the hotel. You know what I mean? They plan those sorts of things. So, let me know what you think about this. Comment down below. Big projects that would really stick it to Watchtower are great. Why not hire professionals to help once things get really big? Let me know what you think. Walk Hill Bethelite signing out.